I just love the drama.
Biggest U-turn since winter fuel allowance.
Cut that.
Because loose lips sink ships.
And what the fans want is to stop teams being owned by madmen.
Listen, you're really making a mess here. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. We're getting really cross with you.
The sticky patch came when the rest of the team's sticky patch came, which was sort of January onwards.
Grumble, boobs joke, hot ones.
No, let me tell you, I don't have to look at this objectively at all.
The Wednesday week!
Put on your podcast!
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Wednesday week. It's Monday, it's 8 p.m, we're live, and I'm joined by Charlie and Dan Fudge as a guest. Hey, look, Dan, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah. I'm
There might be a little bit of a reason that Dan's a guest and not hosting tonight. Is it a little bit worse for wear? As some of you have seen, that we were at the darts last night. We watched some arrows. So, yes, we thank you to Mr. Vegas for letting us go to the darts last night. We had a massive outing, and it was great. And Dan overindulged as usual. So, there we go. How are you, Charlie? I bet you're not hungover, are you?
No, I'm not hungover. No, I did.
I am. Chaz, listen, let me tell you about the greatest phone call I've ever received. Let me tell you about this. So, we had a bit of kerfuffle picking the tickets up, as you would for that type of thing. That's you know what I mean. And then we kind of went in, and there was me and my mate John, and then Ash and his boy. And I said, Ash, do you want to go and sit down? I'll pick us up some drinks, because the queue for the beer was absolutely straight up disgraceful. Like, you know what I mean? It's a darts, right? It's just reams and reams of blokes that just smell like blokes. And my phone buzzes, and I went, oh, Ash, yeah. And he goes, Dan, it's table service. Oh my God. And then so John's gone nuts and just ordered 2 4-pint jugs of ale. You know what I mean? And because it was the final, we were only there for like an hour and a half. Like, you know what I mean? It was just absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I was. It was in Wolverhampton, and I was tucked up back in bed by 11:15. It was great Sunday night. Yeah, and one coffee down, and I was good. Yeah, so that's enough of my and Dan's shenanigans last night. We're here. It's a bit of a Q&A type of thing. We've got a few questions from you guys, but if anyone wants to ask any of our panelists, myself included, any questions, please get in the chat. And if you're listening to this on playback or whatever it's called, on stream, then get a question in for next time. How's about that? And we'll get to it. So obviously, everyone's probably seen the news in the last half an hour that Sheffield Wednesday have made a signing. Hey, we didn't think we were going to be able to say that, did we? So Liam Cooper has signed a vastly experienced centre-back, should I say. Initial thoughts. Chaz Potato, there you are. I'll do it. Dan can't. So there we go. Charlie, what's your thoughts on Liam Cooper's incoming Sheffield Wednesday?
My initial thoughts were, oh my God, we've made a signing. Anybody? Yeah. Wow. I didn't know we were allowed to do that. That's amazing. Yeah, brilliant. Definitely the kind of signing that you want. Somebody who's experienced, someone who, with the greatest respect, isn't 15 and not old enough to have advertising gambling sponsors on the front of his shirt. Brings the average age up considerably, which is great. And yeah, really good signing. I don't know if you guys have caught any of like his initial sort of interview bit, but it's all great. Like it's, like normally when you get a new player, they're just kind of like, oh, I'm really looking forward to the experience of playing at Hillsborough for the first time. And it's gonna be great to play for a big massive club and all the usual stuff, which is great. And he's kind of coming and he's like, yeah, everything's really shit for you guys at the moment. Actually, he's using the we already, which I thought was quite nice. He was giving it the we, which I thought was, yeah, good. And he was like, so obviously, tottering time for you all. Let's see what we can do about it, which is really good and honest, isn't it? He's not under any illusions. He's not like, yeah, I've come here to score 15 goals and be amazing and just go under the lights and live my dream. He's like, no, I've come to see if there's any possible opportunity to maybe, help you guys out. But probably we're going to get relegated. But all the lads seem nice. So, yeah, seems good. Seems, yeah. Plus, his name rhymes with loads of stuff. So it's really good for chance. Super
It'd be
duper.
really good for the 11s that we do on a Friday as well.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's going to be so
Yeah.
good. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Cooper's turned up now. He's obviously being told that he's going to get paid and everything, so he's signed on for. I didn't see. Is it till the end of the season, or is it?
I assumed so. I didn't actually check. I was just too excited.
Yeah, I know that
I know.
we've got EFL approval to sign two free signings, but I didn't know if there was going to be some caveats in that they can only sign till the end of the season, and I think there's a wage like structure that they've got to stick to.
End of season. Subject to international clearance. Yeah.
Daniel, Liam Cooper, ex-Leeds United. Does that bother you?
No, I think it's mint. I think it's exactly the type of signing we need. Somebody who's going to galvanise that defence a little bit. You know, like, because we spoke a lot about Ernie Weaver before he got injured and went for his operation. We're talking about Ernie Weaver marshalling that defence and telling Iorfa where to be. Somebody who's 10 years older than him, nearly 12, 13 years older than him, and it turns out Iorfa's not that type of guy that can just shout and scream, and like Tom Lee's used to. I think this has got Tom Lee's signing written all over it. I think it's great, and he completely understands the predicament we're in, and it's managed to get him out of CSKA Moscow as well, which I can assume is probably a difficult place to be right now. So imagine that your club and the turmoil around it is worse than Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is he can do it on a cold, rainy night in Moscow. That's what you're saying.
Can literally do it on a cold, rainy night. Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's a proper leadership signing, and I'm really happy for it. I think it's the best we could have got for the money we were allowed to spend.
I've had a comment here by Paul Faruga. Experience in the head beats speed in the legs.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. And that's just, what you just said about Iorfa, the fastest man in Yorkshire. But then you've got Cooper at the side of him who'll have that head. Like Lees and Louvens, great combination that, weren't it? We always saw the best out of them two playing together. I think for me, Cooper, I think that's a solid signing. It's a position that we've cried out for a couple of seasons for backup. And I know, like what you said, Dan, we've got Ernie Weaver, but we've knackered him by playing him because he's had to play, hasn't he? So a bit unfortunate for the lad, but Cooper, vastly experienced, like been there, done it. And I know we're from Leeds, but to be honest, I'm not bothered where he's played before. We just needed bodies through the door, and I think he's going to do. Plus, I'm not sure. I know he's been training on his own with things, so he's not going to be too far behind, is he? I don't think. Match fitness wise. So hopefully he's going to. I assume he's going to go straight in on Sunday. But that's it. Craig's just asked that. Sorry, Craig, I didn't see it, but he just said, "Does Cooper start on Sunday? And if so, who drops out?"
Otabale.
Oh, yeah.
No remnants of hesitation there. It's going to be Iorfa and Cooper at the back on Sunday. Has to be.
We have been playing three though, haven't we? We've been like Lowe, Palmer, and then Iorfa, weren't it, in the last couple of games? So will we switch back to a four, or do you reckon? Because the thing is, if Palmer drops out, you've got that. But then if Lowe if he switches to a four at the back, you got Amas. Will he play further up, or will Lowe play left back?
Well, we've still got the lineups here, right? So we've still got the lineups from the last couple of games. So you've had Fusiri as well, Palmer, Iorfa, Lowe, and then Amas. So a five at the back essentially, or with Fusiri and Lowe playing wing back, as it were. And then that's kind of how we lined up, virtually the same against Southampton as well. So there is an element that it might free somebody up in midfield a little bit to push up the pitch.
Yeah, Fizeri's played 70 minutes. I think he played today in his against Qatar for Zimbabwe. So he's not going to be coming back in the freshest. I know we play Sunday and not Saturday, which is another 24 hours, which is good. But you don't know. He could come in for Palmer and then Palmer push the right. He's got choices. He's got choices already. We've signed one choices.
Oh,
I need to issue an apology because it's not CSKA Moscow, it's CSKA Sofia, Bulgaria. Now, to be fair, I've been a Sofia, Bulgaria. I've actually been to that football club as well. It may as well be Moscow. It's bloody awful in Sofia. It's easy mixed up. It's easy mixed up.
Yeah. Paul Robinson said he'll replace Palmer, and Palmer moves up. No, there you are.
Probably.
So that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah. We've brought in Cooper. So this is the Q&A type of just general chit chat. It's international break, so like I said before, get any questions into the guys in, and we've got one on the same vein as obviously what I've said. So it's the EFL have let us bring in one free signing. We've got another one. So the question is what position would you like us, or what do you think we should strengthen or cover or get help in, however you want to put it? In which position? Charlie, have you had to think about this? Where? So centre back, and don't say everywhere because
yeah. It's tricky, isn't it? Because I was caught between sort of desperately we need more cover in defence because we're sort of shipping those goals in and really, but this is going to sound a ridiculous thing to say, so please do bear with me. If we don't get any further punishment, and there is in theory a snifter of a chance we could stay up, it's not going to be by goal difference. Like, that's by that point, like, it's like, if we keep, do you know what I mean? If we keep not getting the results, we're going to be relegated because we're relegated. So it's not going to be like, oh, we're so close to something. Like, it's either going to be where we are. We're either going to turn a corner or we're not going to turn a corner. I think you get forward in. Let's just score some goals, because then also, when we inevitably do get relegated, would have been at like Bannon's goal at Hillsborough. How amazing was that? We only got a point out of that game. Who cares? We all got to see that goal and celebrate that goal. So part of me is like, I just want to enjoy watching it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is an element of survival to it. Chances are that decision is going to be taken out of our hands anyway. Let's just get somebody in that's like score some really, really nice goals. Let's have a goal compilation of goals we've scored in the season when we went down on -31. Like, why not? Like, let's just have fun.
I think yeah, I like that. Like, let's score one more than you, and we'll either lose or win 4-3, 5-4 or something. And we're gonna go down fighting. That's
Absolutely.
it. That's what.
Way
like
more
it.
fun.
I like it. Daniel, striker, midfielder, winger. Not that we play with wingers, but you know,
am I only allowed one?
You're only EFL
Wednesday's
rules.
only allowed one.
One. Yeah.
Like, okay, look, the obvious choice is to say striker, and I must admit, coming from Charlie's perspective, is actually quite unique, because I wouldn't have thought of it, because clearly we've got underperforming strikers and they need replacing, right? That's the way I'd have gone. But I feel this is going to sound nuts, because we've said on this show a couple of times as well that striker is the only position on the pitch in which we've got a wealth of, I was going to say talent, but we've got a number of people that can play in that position. Yeah. And I feel like we are a bit threadbare in midfield, given the injuries that we've had. Like, we haven't really replaced Chalobah since that opening game of the season. I wouldn't mind a big shit-kicking midfielder, a proper Patrick Vieira type. I'm not saying we're going to get Patrick Vieira, although if Patrick Vieira at the age he is now would do a right job in the middle of the park next to Baz, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but I feel like we need a break-up play midfielder. Just to play devil's advocate, it's clear we need a striker because Ike Ugbo is fucking shit. So I feel like there needs to be some change. But Bailey Cadamartri is playing a lot of minutes for Jamaica right now, and I feel like he's snatching at everything. He's chasing everything. I think the kid's knackered. I think he's absolutely on his ass. Jamal Lowe can't hit a barn door with anything right now. Mm-hmm. And even if you think of the goal he scored this season against Leeds, he was quite fortunate for that to go in. I feel like he needs a run of games to be confident, but he's had that run of games out of because of what's happened at the club. And as a result, he's still not got any better. So the obvious choice is to say striker, but I wouldn't mind somebody who sat in behind Baz, doing the donkey work, breaking up and pushing Baz forward. I really like it when Baz plays in that advanced centre midfielder role, something that you kids nowadays call the number 10, even though in old money, number 10 was the shit kicker tall striker, wasn't it, back in 4-4-2 times? But yeah, that attacking midfielder role, I'd like to see Baz there because, as you know, and as we've seen 1,000 times from Baz, like, he can absolutely spank them from anywhere, and he won't waste a shot unless he's really sure he can hit it. So, like, for example, that one against Norwich, there was that one against Millwall a couple of years ago. I say a couple, I think it was about 7 years ago now. But, you know, there was that season where we had a goal of the month season between ourselves around 2018. So I think I like Baz in that position, especially when he's on the edge of the D around the 18 and we're kind of passing it in that arc to try and unpick a team. I like it when Baz is there. So if we've got an ability to put a midfielder behind him to break it up, I would quite happily see that. And when we were fortunate enough to speak to Barry on the show, he said that that's what Jan Valerie's doing. And that's that, you know, and he's really happy with him there. But I think we could do with Valerie playing where Valerie actually plays rather than square peg round hole in him. You know what I mean?
I think something I'd noticed as well, and being back at Hillsborough, just, you know, we ain't got any big lads. We've got no big lads. Like, we've got some absolute.
This is where Charlie talks about missing Michael Smith.
Absolutely. All right, to be fair, there was a little bit of it that was leading into that, but I must admit, like, because Bailey's he's not tiny, but he's still young, and and I just, the amount of times when you think we've got a corner and you think, where's that? It's never going to us by the time it's got to anybody else. If it gets down to anybody's head, it's missed like 20. I mean, it was there was quite a few times when, like, Norwich would make a sub, and I'm thinking their players are huge, and then I was like, no, our players are just really short. Like, are we the shortest team in the EFL? Like, I want stats on this. Like, can someone find out how tall's Cooper? Just out of interest. Does anybody know
Loman, if you're watching, Pete, we're going to need a spreadsheet.
I need a spreadsheet.
I'm going to offer up a name then to cover both those wants. Anyone remember Momo Diaby?
Yes.
Can you remember? Yes. He had 38 minutes, I think it was, of his debut. He looked world beaten, then he got injured, and then I don't think we saw him much. But that is the sort of player that I'm imagining Dan's a big, rangy centre midfielder, just to sit there, pick the ball up, win it, play it off. Because for me, I totally agree with you, Dan, on that. And for me, the last few games, for good reason, is Bannon has dropped back to left back. Picking the ball up.
I tell you what, actually, do you know what, Ash? Just on that, there was something I noticed, and you know, you and I have spoke a lot on this show, haven't we, about Bannon dropping deep, and we're going, oh, for fuck's sake, here he goes again, separating the centre backs, and then it's going over the top of him and stuff like that. It turns out that that's what Pedersen's got him doing. So when we spoke to Bannon, what they do is they drop into some weird formation where Bannon drops right into the back line, but they expect it now, and he goes left, and then Palmer goes right. So when we're chasing a game, and you'll notice it, we did it against Norwich, and we did it against Southampton. We're chasing a game, and Bannon drops right back, and and you notice players like Iorfa playing a bit further up the pitch. Apparently, it's on purpose.
Interesting.
It's always a strange one for me, because you got Bannon, who is perceived to be the most creative midfielder that we've got, and he's playing and yes, I know he can put a ball on someone's head from left back from across the far side of the pitch to Ingelsson or whatever, but I want him further up. I think he'd offer more and creative more further up.
I agree.
But then have that player that Dan's on about. So I was going to go midfielder, not the sort of midfielder that Dan's, but I was thinking we've got Valerie, who's probably going to go off to the AFCON end of December. So that's one midfielder lighter. Shalabar is made of biscuits, unfortunately, and he's not going to be seen for a while, is he? So we're relying on 35-year-old Bannon. Ingelsson, for all I love him, I think he's a cracking player and he'll be great in League One. He's just not got that pace. He picks the ball up and runs forward with it, but he hasn't got that pace. So, yeah, for me, midfielder, some extra creative spark. So if Bannon is dropping at left back or down back at the centre back, then there is someone in the midfield to pick them second balls up and create something. So for me, I haven't got a name. I haven't looked at the free transfers, to be honest, or who's available. So if anyone wants to put their name forward, then please make yourself known to Henrik Pedersen at S6. But yeah, I think a striker. We've got striker Charlie and two centre midfielders from the boys here. Let us know in the comments what sort of positioning you'd like us to sign, because we've only got one more space at current. So that's it. Next question is: seeing this week, there's been always a lot of talk about who's going to be buying us. And it's been announced by Chris Wigfield that there has been 11 interested parties that have stumped up the cash or shown that they've got the 50 million needed to get into the second data room, I think he called it, where the really bad stuff is, no doubt, for the accounts. So you've got to pay 50 million to look at the bad news. So I know what the probably stock answers are going to be for this, and guys. So what I want to know is, what would be your top 3 criteria for an owner?
Right.
So, obviously billions and billions. Come on, let's. But I just want you to, who of these 11, if we get a preferred bidder in the next couple of weeks, which Chris says that's what they're looking for, what sort of bidder and owner would you like? What's the criteria that you want to see from these? Charlie, ladies first.
Do you want me to just give one?
Just give one, and then we'll go to Dan.
Someone who is willing to employ the right people to do the actual business. So like a director of football, that kind of thing. Someone that recognises that their job is not to do every job. So for me, that director of football, that central figure, that bridges the gap between the actual sort of club management staff and the owners, and that they're willing to sit back and play more of a generous financial role. Absolutely, 1,000,000%. I think we need that. We haven't had that for so long. We've had too much of the crackpot fingered in every pies thing. Someone for me that knows that they can sit back and get an expert in to do that role.
Easy, isn't it? If you own a football club, it's easy, isn't it? That's one of the first things you'd do, wouldn't you? Danielson, how about you?
Just one.
Just one for now, mate. We'll go
the main one for me is wanting to invest in the infrastructure. I think Stevie might have mentioned it on an episode of last month, saying we're not just looking for someone who's going to put his hand in his pocket to buy players. We need somebody who's going to put his hand in his pocket to sort out the infrastructure around Hillsborough. We speak a lot about leveling the Presto stand, the Leppings Lane end. We talk a lot about leveling that and rebuilding that and all the rest of it. There's money needs spending on the training ground. There's money needs spending in the development side of it, in terms of bringing youth players through and things like that. There's money spending on the north stand to stop that falling on people's head.
I don't know why it muted me then. I don't know what happened there, but there's a lot that needs doing. There's a lot that needs changing. There's a lot that needs picking up, and somebody who's prepared to pick that up and go with it to make it into a proper business. Because I think Chaz is right. First and foremost, we need what do my companies use the term? It's one of those god awful aces in places. You know what I mean? We're going to have the right people in the right role, people who know how to run a football club. And if I'm honest, I kind of want somebody who's going to treat the employees like employees. I can expand that answer a little bit. There is an element of, I feel like everybody's got a mate that works at the club. Everybody's got a pal that's telling them this news, and everybody's telling them this, and we all get half a rumor on the internet and shows like this and all the other internet content providers. And Sheffield Star don't do it, I must admit, but there are too many rumors that circulate online because it's come from half a text message that someone's read from somebody. And I feel like there needs to be a bit of a bit of something that's, you know, changed up a little bit. You know, just shore it up a little bit. I'm going to sort out my sound issues while I come back to you.
Cheers, Dan. Yeah, we've had a couple of comments before we get to your next one, Chaz. With Steve's gone with commit to a better training facility is one of the things that Dan think, and I think, do you know, I'm going to say something here, but you know, with that, I think that has to come to a change in mentality from myself and probably other fans and everything. Is we get better training facilities that we're crying out for. We produce better youngsters. But then we turn into a selling club. And that's not a massive problem because you sell youngsters. We all want to see youngsters. We want to see Ernie Weaver. We want to see Granger. We do want to see it, but we need to think that if we're getting better training facilities, then players are going to be wanted by Premier League teams. And it's a change of mentality so that it's good to let them go with a sell-on clause and we're making a bit of money. Not just to hold on to them, because we can't, can we? At the minute, we can't. We haven't got that facility. So for me, training and all that, I totally agree with. But with that training, I think for me, it needs to be a bit of a change in mentality, a business mentality, should I say as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Charlie, what's your second must-have or love to have?
I think this is one that's harder for me to kind of summarize in sort of a word or a phrase, but it's something we've seen from the minute we've gone into admin is that sense of genuine like empathy and like understanding of the fans, and not just football fans, Sheffield Wednesday fans. There's been a lot of really good communication, but also just to recognizing what fans actually want and care about. What we actually wanted was to know that you were going to knock a bit of money off tickets and a bit of quid off of merchandise, and that you know, and put a video out talking about how great we are. Little things like that. It's actually so easy. Like so much of that day-to-day stuff is really easy. The people that won't get that, the people that won't, the DCs of this world who can't possibly comprehend that, there's a reason, and it's because they come from a level of wealth that is almost unattainable. And it's not me saying I don't want them to be rich and wealthy. Of course, I want them to be rich and wealthy. I want them to bring loads of money and spend loads of money on my club. What I will say is there's a huge difference between, say, like a business or a group, or I hate using the phrase consortium because it's kind of like a bit of a dirty word, but there's a massive difference between that kind of group who are going to come in and sort of recognize that and maybe like move forward with sort of expanding and growing something with that business mind, as opposed to I'm the guy, I own the club. It's mine. It's my plaything. It's how I see it. I will do things based ruthlessly on what I believe. And I think so. To sort of summarize up exactly what I'm feeling, it's that fan focused approach for me. That it's back to recognizing that fans are at the center of the whole club. And the last thing we need is some ridiculously wealthy person who cannot comprehend why someone might not be able to pay £1,000 for a season ticket and £80 for a shirt and that kind of stuff. That all that kind of ridiculous penny pinching insanity that we've had, that has to go. And then it's not just about I've come here to buy this club to make millions back. That's crazy. Doing it's a passion project, an actual passion project is what it should be.
Yeah, they don't have to. For me, they don't have to give a shit about Sheffield Wednesday and have the wallpaper and the pillow slips. You know what I mean? I just wanted to run. I tell you what, based on what you were saying there, Chaz, what I want to see the most, and I know this is I'm probably never gonna see this information, but I would love to know. Like, you've got Sheffield Wednesday there, and there's Mark the Pitts morale keeps reminding everybody 25 years outside the Premier League, right? And they are, through that entire 2.5 decade period, we have still been one of the most well-supported clubs in the country. You know, we are better supported than I dare I say half the Premier League teams as well. Why is our infrastructure, why is our club, why does it seem to cost a lot more money than Stoke? You know what I mean? We're better supported than Stoke. They played in the Premier League for longer than we did. You know what I mean? I don't understand how we're turning up and paying our money, right? We're buying the shit, we're buying the stuff, we're turning up, and as the last few weeks have shown, you know, we've got some very committed fans that want to put their money into the club and do it properly. Why does our one seem to cost more? Why is it when everybody comes in, do they go, oh God, well, we can't afford that, we can't afford this, but everybody else can? What, you know what I mean? Why is that? Who's taking money out of the club that we don't know?
Is one of those things, and this just goes before Chancery as well, is like the golden period of the last 20, 25 years that we've been out of. We've missed out on so much, as in infrastructure, money from, even if we'd have got promoted once to the Premier League and back with the parachute payments, things like that. I think we've just missed out on that, and that has gone. If
we'd have got relegated 2 years after we did, we'd have been Norwich yo-yoing. We'd have been that club. We missed out on parachute payments. The game changed around the Barclays time, didn't it? Like around 2002, the game changed, and all of a sudden, people are going, "Oh, Stoke are a good team. Good team, Stoke." No, they're not. No, they're not. They're a shit football club in the middle of nowhere. Poorly supported.
Before we get to your second one, Daniel, we're going to hear from the adverts, some sponsors. So brace yourselves. Back in a minute. Welcome back to the Wednesday week Q&A edition. We're just getting into what we'd like from a new owner. So we've just got some comments in as well. So I'll just Paul Turton has just somebody competent.
Anybody.
Rich Evans, 10,000. Let's be honest. Come on, a billionaire who's willing to spaff money.
Brilliant. Yeah, that'd be nice to be fair.
And he's come back with a chance series of one-off. Most billionaires aren't morons. They want to make money. I think that's the problem. Chance series wasn't a billionaire, was it?
Sheffield football's on its ass. We managed to find the only skint sheikh at the other side of the city, and we managed to find the stupidest millionaire going at this side of the sea. We're a right joke, aren't we?
J-Blogs 91's 3 has gone, evidence of running an organisation successfully. Great communicator, a plan and a vision with a few billion in the back pocket to finance the infrastructure. So, Daniel, what's your second one? Well,
to be fair, that was my second one, if I'm honest. The one about seeing a document about why we cost a lot more than anybody else. But there was one that I was going to say earlier on, but Craig Haywood's picked up on it and saying, I don't want fans in the boardroom. I kind of agree. We're all staunch Wednesday fans. That's why we do this type of thing. And then you guys sit and consume as much media as possible. We're spending money in the shop, but when it comes to making tough decisions, a fan can't do it. Look at that poor fella at Wednesday, poor Paul, who mentioned, does there need to be a 50% discount for OAPs? We went into the maths and how financially sound an idea it was, but Christ, that poor geese has been absolutely crucified across the internet. You know what I mean? I don't want fans in the boardroom. I would like the engagement panel, to run a few ideas by when it comes to the positive stuff. I agree fans need to be involved somewhere, of course. But as Craig's literally just posted it, and it sums it up well, you end up thinking with your heart and not your head. It's as simple as that. And let's get some business people in that do business things and talk about synergy and wear suits.
Yeah. On the engagement panel bit, there was a meeting. You've seen the minutes came out about 48 hours after we had the meeting, which was unheard of. So that is all going to change with the new regulations from EFL and the Independent Football Regulator and the FSA. The way that's put together is going to change, and you'll probably see less supporters groups on there, but more concentrated people that will be voted. I believe you've got to be voted on as well in the new rules, rather than being asked or.
Are you going on, Ash? Are you going for it? What are you doing? I know you're on this one. I'm going to stitch you up on the internet one.
I don't think anyone wants me on anymore. Why should I put? I can go on as an independent if they are going to have independence, but I don't think podcasts should be on. to be honest.
You've never been on. It's never been about that, though, has it? It's always been about the community and outreach work, and I think that's always been very misunderstood. And Ash always doesn't go on about this stuff, and he should, because that's it takes a lot of grief. Just saying, this idea that why is a podcast? It's nothing to do with the podcast. Our lazy asses have got nothing to do with it. Nobody's asking my stupid bloody opinion, other than on this show.
And why would you want mine as well?
Why the hell would you want ours? You want Dan to turn up drunk to an engagement panel? Is that what you people want? No, of course not. Jesus Christ.
Cheerleaders with Chancery face masks.
It was one of the reasons I wanted to go on it. It was the obviously met the match day experience better, and I got some ideas and all that. And the charity side and the community side was it. Just didn't understand myself, a bit naively, how much shit goes on at them sort of things. And dealing with Chancery was fun. It was fantastic. I don't want to do that ever again, and thankfully I won't. But that's one of those things, and anyone who's listening who was part of the engagement panel, you know what I'm on about. So thank you. Yeah. Is that three? Have you had Charlie? No, go on. You're third.
There, mate. Go on.
Yeah. Go on, Charlie. Just a quick one. Go on, and then we'll
get the old owl. Get the old owl, and I'll tell you why. Whether easy win. Because whether or not you believe that this is based on the actual oldest owl, this is always going to be Chance Series badge, unfortunately. It's always the easiest and quickest way to show that it's a new era. Get the old owl in. Yeah. You can disagree with me all you like.
And that, I don't like that links to the conversation we've just had, is that will now be under the remit of a fan advisory board. You can't change a badge or the stadium or anything like that until fan consultation. So hopefully that might be one of the first things on the new agenda. You never know, do you? No. Oh, controversial from Daniel, I think.
I really hate that owl badge. I don't like either of them. I know I'm wrong, and I know everybody's kicking off now, and here's Fudge again saying controversial things on the internet. But I like a really modern badge. Everybody's kicking off about these circle ones that are coming out, and I kind of like them. I like how simplified they are, but I also enjoy when they go right back to the olden days. And that first one with the two fellas around the shield, that first ever badge that we had, I much prefer that one than that. I think the 1960s looking owl is very 1960s looking. I think us, Derby County and Nottingham Forest, have these real badges of the era that we haven't got rid of. And I kind of like Forest, but I'd like an old school shield. I think there's something nice about it. And this one and the original owl, I just don't like either. I just think they're aesthetically minging.
While you were just talking, I was going to say, Goose Creative will be getting his notepad out. He's actually been on already.
Yeah, I did.
he's got a new logo with the.
Lee, hit me up. Hit me up, Lee. Let's get a new one in.
What I was just going to say, I think it's Newcastle. Have you seen the Newcastle one where it's just that big NUFC in like a big font, that. And it goes up like that?
It's lovely.
I love it. Yeah. So, right, we've got a question in from Aaron in our last man standing chat, and because we've spent the last 5 minutes actually speaking proper sense, we've gone back to the old Q&A. So, ready, guys? If you could get any past or present owl to do a Eurovision duet with Barney, who would it be, and why would the answer be Will Volks?
Right. Okay.
Right.
Let me stop you right there.
Go on.
Let me stop you right there. Obviously, the easy answer is Chris Waddle after Waddle and Hoddle's Diamond Lights, right? That's the easy answer. But however, because music moved on and there were artists that came around 2010 and a little earlier, and Pitbull came out, singer of the dance floor classic Fireball. What he did, he replaced the middle eight, the one where the geezer with the haircut would put a foot on a monitor and just start doing the guitar riff in the middle of the song. You know what I mean? The guitar break in the middle of any rock song, and it's just sat there thrusting in your general direction. What Pitbull did was ruin it the rap break, and what we have now is the rap break. So Royston Drenthe, after his foray into music, doing a rap break for Eurovision, and it would rival Sweden's entry to the 2025 Eurovision Song Contest, Bada Bada Bastru Sauna.
Charlie.
Yep. Okay. So my first question, if I can answer a question with a question.
Oh,
Barney doesn't speak, does he? Barney's the one that doesn't speak.
No,
just
Barney just does the press releases and the big long tweets.
Right,
and Ozzy's the one with the voice.
So effectively, he's like got like the Happy Mondays thing where he's not actually contributing to the singing.
Yeah,
he's just going to be like on stage. In which case, this is going to sound a bit left field. I would go for New, right? Because don't you think nowadays he looks like somebody that would present Eurovision? Have you seen him when he's been interviewed? He's got the cat, and he looks like somebody that used to be famous for singing back in the day. I think it's the hair. He looks like he used to be like an ex-Eurovision, and now he like presents Eurovision. Can you see my vision? So while he's sort of talking, like Happy Monday style talking, and Barney's in the back just like doing the vibes, can you not just see that? Can you not see the juxtaposition there of the two?
I don't want to see it.
He's kind of got that swagger of someone that was famous 30 years prior, and they kind of wheel him out
but
like
for
they do with ABBA.
Like an obscure thing though, not famous like bigly famous, like like one of the Venga Boys famous, like famous but not like as in oh my god it's him. But now he's like he's aged out just that little bit. With a big coat on.
He's got a big coat on.
It always wears a big coat.
I for my choice, there's two things. I'm going to go for Pato. One,
right?
I just like him. I love him. I think he's. I do. But also, a few years ago, there was a guy on Twitter. I think he was on lockdown actually, called Damien Rab. I think he's French.
Yeah, the guy at the piano.
Rabbitow or something like that. Who's spitting image of Pato, and I tweeted him so many times to get him to do any songs or a shout out or anything. But that's all I've got. I've got Pato sat at a piano with a drum and some cymbals strapped to his knees. So he's like a one-man band thing with Barney at the back going through a repertoire for Eurovision. That's mine. And I'm sure I'm going to draw that up on some sort of, AI model or something. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Pato because I think he'd be fantastic.
I tell you what, imagine like a trio, right, singing. And it was that, what did you say his name was? The French Canadian fella,
Damien Rabbitow. I can't pronounce Rabbitow.
So him, Callum Patterson, and then Rob Delaney as Pete from Deadpool. You know what I mean? That'd be, imagine those three just stood there, just doing like some really harmonious song, like "Only You" by Yazoo. Bada, bada, bada. You know what I mean? Like,
very Flying Pickets.
Flying Pickets version. Yeah.
In the Brady Bunch surround, so they're looking at each other.
Yeah.
That'd be mint. Yeah. So thank you very much, Aaron, for that question. I hope that answers it. And we didn't go for Will Bolt, but obviously he would be second on the list. We've had a question from History Peg on X. What's our view on the so-called ITK count and their interaction with possible buyers of the club?
Fucking hell.
Oh my god. How did we go from Eurovision to this?
Look,
this is serious.
This is it. This is what you're gonna get with us, you never know what you're gonna get. It's a box of chocolates and all that sort of stuff. So ITK account. So I'll go first. I'll let you guys soak it in the question. I'm not bothered, to be honest. I'm not bothered what anyone puts. Well, virtually what anyone puts on the internet, but all these people that claim to know, I'm sure there are people that do know quite a lot. They know people at the club, they know people inside the club, outside the club, involved in whatever. But I would like to, and this is quite a thing because we are needing new buyers, and I want this to go as smooth as possible and get the right buyer or buyers in. without a hitch. And I'd rather not know who it is until they're stood there holding up this season's abomination of a home kit, saying, welcome to Hillsborough. People have a thing online and that they want to be the first, or they think they want to share things, which gives them clout, shall we say, or acknowledgement of that they know things that other people don't, and let them get on with it. Honestly, I mean, we've been told stuff in the past to the podcast, but we don't say anything. We don't tweet things out. We don't put any hints about anything. It's not really our place, is it? But we do get told things, and I don't really want to, because people have receipts these days as well, don't they? And they come and do it. So for me, people can do whatever they want if they're in the know. I'm sure there is, but I'm not one for that. Like I said, we just talk about the facts, really. And Dan's done it very well over the last few months of obviously what's been going on at the club, and offering two sides or a balanced side. Should we balance talk about it? So yeah.
Bit tough.
That's where I am on it. Right. Charlie, what about yourself? Or Dan? Dan, do you want to go?
Go on, Charles.
Go on, Charlie.
So, for me, I think you've hit the nail on the head there a bit, Ash. Everybody knows somebody, really, don't they? Or they know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And some of it's right and some of it's not. And you get little bits and you get little rumours. My concern is anyone who is on the internet professing to actually be in the know is an egotist. They are, because it's like you say, to a certain extent, they want to be known as somebody that knows something. And with respect, why should we care or be invested in that? What are you trying to get out of that? Even if you're posting as like something a bit more anonymous, you're not necessarily posting as yourself, you're posting as, I don't know, Truth Scotch egg or whatever the hell we've got going on at the moment. A pie, for example. It doesn't matter. And I don't care how funny those accounts seem. To a certain extent, what you're looking for is a certain level of validation and an almost smugness of this idea of like, I've got something for, and it's the nature of those posts. It was one of the biggest reasons that I came off Twitter, because it didn't matter whether things were right or wrong. It was the attitude of certain people where it was like, and what did I say was going to happen? Exactly what did happen. Great, fuck you. Sorry, we're all going through shit right now, and the idea that you would put yourself and your own ego above any of the rest of it is ridiculous. I will also say that probably, without naming names, one of the biggest in the knowers who's claimed to be, and people have accused him of this, and some have defended him, saying he's just a fan, just trying to do his best for the club, which I think I settled on that at one point. I didn't like it at first, and then I thought, no, do you know what? Fair play. You're a fan trying to do your best for the club. Oh, what's that? Actually, turns out just trying to get a job with whoever's willing to take him on board. Oh, it turns out he was in it all for himself all the end. So for me, anyone who's going out there being Billy Big Bollocks, been like, oh, I've got loads of information, I know exactly what's going on. Yeah, you're just in it for yourself. And since when did we need another egotistical fantasist around the club? So delete your account, shut the hell up, and let's all move on. Like, who cares? You're a sad old man. Please move on. All of you, collectively. Not naming any names.
This was the Wednesday week. It's been an absolute pleasure serving you for the last 15 years. It's been...
and who had odds on favourite of Dan Fudge killing this show? No, it was Charles. Yeah,
it was Charles.
Nah, only joking, Charles. No, okay. I know this is probably not a hot topic. I'll not play it, but it's a hot conversation, isn't it, with people on the hashtag SWFC. So. Go on, Daniel. What do you offer up?
I don't know. And as you said at the start, I've invited, especially the last 6 months, specifically since March, and for a long time, I've invited talking about things that are difficult. I've invited having the back and forth. I invite people telling me their perspective of it, because there's an element of there might be something offered that I might not have considered. So, for example, it would have been very easy a couple of years ago to go, why do we need a women's supporters group? It's just causing segregation. And then the more I learned about the work that the ladies do and things like that, I understand why there needs to be a safe space for women at football online. You know what I mean? So, for example, you know, the much maligned, and I had a right day out on it, don't get me wrong, the much maligned Halo project from Sky Sports News. I understood that there needed to be a safe space online for that type of thing, and have it pitched towards women in a certain way. But the tone in which they chose was absolutely fucking ridiculous. But the concept of it was a good idea. But in terms, when I say they didn't stick the landing, the pilot went through the windshield. You know what I mean? There's also you know, conversations around disabled guests that I'd not considered. There's conversations around how much it meant to people and their mental health and things like that. And I've learned a lot doing this show. And I invite those difficult conversations to bring this round to the question you've asked. Fucking hell, that's tough. There are people that know some stuff, but I don't feel that there is, you know, this guy knows this stuff, this guy knows this bit about this guy knows this bit. I think between those ITK accounts, there is a good amount of knowledge, insider knowledge there. But I think my gripe with it is that the only things that come out are the negative stuff, like especially during the summer and especially during the bits. We didn't hear any positive stories. Now, don't get me wrong, with the DC, there weren't a million positive stories, but we didn't celebrate the positives either. It was all constantly shit. It was all constantly, and he's done this, and he's done that. And then last week we had Alan Nixon fighting with a pie because he accused him of taking $1,000 to say something positive about the chairman or some nonsense. I can't remember. Like, what this is, and he clearly knew something. This, whoever this pie account is, right, clearly knew some bits, and you know,
the pie knew something is just
the
a
pie knew
ridiculous
something, man.
sentence.
The pie knew some things and some stuff, man. They knew some stuff, but you know, there's an element of, yes, you know, there's some knowledge there, but but my issue with the knowledge that came out, not enough of it was positive, not enough of it was balanced. And you know, I've used that word a lot on this show over the last few years. There needs to be balance. There needs to be, yes, that's shit, yes, this is good, yes, this is just some stuff that happened. And I am happy to discuss anything, but I just need it to be balanced. There needs to be balance to everything. There is two sides to every story, and no one's 100% right about anything. You know what I mean? And in terms of these ITK accounts, some of them seem a little bit too militant. You know, a little bit too far the other way. Some just report the news, right? Look at Joe and Alex, who you could argue are ITK. You know, they're journalists. They just report the news, and they're very good at not reporting it until it's been fact checked and until it's been, because they have to do that within their roles, right? Which is why we should pay more attention to people such as that, rather than, you know, a pasty from Rotherham or whatever the fucking hell's coming up next. You know,
we have spoke to obviously both Alex and Joe, and they've said, haven't they, before, it's hard for them, especially with X and on social media, that they have to fact check twice, 3 times stories before running it. But while they're doing that, someone might have leaked something on Twitter. Or not leaked, or come out with it, because they can just do that like we can.
And they have to now research it, and they have to now look it up. They're now, you know, Joe sat there. He's finally, you know, met up with his wife in South America, South Africa, and because a lollipop from Mexborough has tweeted. Chelsea, who's got kids locked up underneath the stadium or something. They've now got to check the validity of that. Like,
and they get their comments as well. The comments are like, "Why aren't you speaking on this? Is this suppressing of the press?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? I literally have just made up things. What is wrong with you people?"
It was a few years ago when someone thought Hillsborough was on fire. But weren't it like some smoke? And Joe had got a hammering for not being down there reporting on it.
It was about 11 o'clock at night, and they'd put the lamps on to dry out the glass, and it had a glow coming up from the stadium. And so someone's tweeted, Hillsborough's on fire. And poor Joe's had to get up out of his bed. And they got sent down. That Chris Holt drives a hard bargain, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Does Chris? I've met Chris, a nice fella, but he's like, "Come on, Joe, you better get down there, brother." You know what I mean? We don't want to get left behind on this news breaking. He's gone down. He's gone, someone's left some lights on. See you later. Go back to bed.
So we have had a question on the same vein as what we've just said, and Jacob says, "What's your thoughts on side talk? He gets a lot right, and he's vocal on names. So it's obviously another ITK." Honestly,
why are they all called
that?
Simon?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't. To say I spend quite a lot of time on social media, I didn't really know much about him. And somebody sent me a clip the other week, last week, I think, and he mentioned this podcast on his little on his podcast. But I do have to just clear something up. He mentioned us about the Trust Fans Forum last week, week before last, and there was a video played before, but that wasn't our video, was it? It was from, I think it was from the Trust. Had done an intro video, and we just had the stream. So I know this side talk did mention it and said he loved it, and then it wasn't us. So sorry, Sai, but no. He obviously, once again, do what you want with the information you've got. He feels like he wants to share it with everyone. Listen if you want to listen, or not. I mean, if he does get stuff right, then he obviously knows things.
To be fair, look, I'll give him his dues. Whatever he's putting out there, he is getting it right, and there is a bit of balance to some of the stuff he says. I don't want to. I'm not going to sit here and say, But what he does as well, he has put himself out there somewhat as well. It's like a big hour-long video of him talking and talking it out with people and stuff like that, which are kind of, fair fucks. But why are they all called Simon?
Is that the same guy who went on Punk Chefs a couple of months ago?
I don't think so. So
you've got Si, weren't he?
Yeah, you've got Punk Chef Simon. You've got Simon from 1867 News. You've got Side Talk. Right? You've got to keep up, lads. You've got to keep up.
I'll tell you what, our Simon needs to get his finger out.
Yeah,
isn't it?
He needs to get on all the socials.
Well, I know what I'm hearing about is how old he is, and beard oil and combs. It is. Hang on, Craig Haywood says it is. It's the same Simon. So it's the same Simon that went on to Punk Chef. Oh, it is. My apologies. Right.
Yeah.
So we don't have a fourth Simon in the mix. We have a Simon 2.0. Simon with an I.
Yeah, Simon with an I. Simon with a Y. Goose Creative been on the video. I've just been told was the Born on a Wednesday video, which is the Chef Wednesday one. Yeah, and how many Dave's been on? Is it relevance to Simon Says?
No, he's a different Simon, right? So that geezer's the one that looks like a scrap dealer that tries to keep putting bids in for the club and videoing himself doing it. Comes across as somebody who works on a fair. The type of ones that ask you for £1 and they've got fingerless gloves on and their ring finger's always missing. It's always the ring finger. Looks like one of them guys. You know what I mean?
Jake Vlogs 91. Jesus, Dan.
My
brother's called Simon. He's not either of the Simons, but he's a little puddled.
Great. Does he want to pretend to be some kind of pastry online? That would be fine if he did.
Oh, imagine if the guy who runs the pie thing's called Simon as well. Jesus, well,
I think it's Dom Housen. That's my current. I think it's Dom Housen hiding behind a pie account. That's my in the know rumor. It's not in the know at all. I'm just making things up. Just scandal rumor.
So there you are.
Hilarious.
So that's just a great example of what we're talking about, Charlie, where you can just throw anything out there without checking it 2 and 3 times, and just accusing a local journalist of being
a pie.
A pie.
A secret pie. And I'm going to demand that Alex and Joe comment on it. I'll be like, why aren't you commenting on the Dom House and pie rumours? Where is my article about this? It's been reported in an award-winning podcast. Where is my article? Disgusting.
So not only did I call out 2 of our best local journalists of dogging the other week, now you've called out another 2 or 1 the same. So Alex has got a right name for himself here. For not having journalistic integrity and doing their job.
Disgraceful.
Harsh, ain't it?
Yeah.
And Dean Reynolds has got. I tell you what, simple Simon met a pie. Tell you what, a lot of sides have got a lot to answer for.
What is this conversation?
I don't know.
So we've got simple Simon met a pieman. He isn't the pie man. So we've got a pie and we've got 3 Simons. and it was Simple Simon that met the pieman. One of the Simons is called Simple Simon online, and he's the one that looks like a carny scrap dealer. Right? Is that the,
Right.
And then the other Simon's the one that was on Puncture. Fucking hell. What happened to just call Alan? Right, let's move
on. Well, that's it for the questions. Have we got any other business, guys? Anything would you like to share?
We did, but I forgot it after all this Simon chat.
Yeah.
I lost it.
I have something, but it's more of a last question. Obviously, we all know that Sunday lunchtime, dinner time, depending where you're from, there's a game of football coming on, and I know this is not a review show, but I just thought I'd like to hear your thoughts on the upcoming derby against Sheffield United. What's your thoughts on the derby, Charlie?
I am pretending that the week goes from Saturday to Monday. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's not happening. Unless, of course, I tune in at, half time and we've somehow miraculously, gone 3-0 up. I think it's going to be awful because I think secretly a lot of people are like, I mean, they're quite shit at the moment. Maybe we could. No, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be the worst. The best we can hope for is like a draw. Please God, like just a 0-0, two useless teams playing each other. Just get me to Monday. Delete game.
Dan, I'm going to turn this on you because you know what I'm going to ask. Is this the most under-anticipated derby in years?
Yeah. So much. I don't think either team's won it, but the pressure once again is on Sheffield United, and let me show them we're working on that, because if they win, they're it's like kicking a man when he's down. They'll be like, "Yeah, we beat you." Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're not bothered, pal. We're not bothered. But if they don't beat us, we beat you.
Wish it.
You can't beat a load of kids in the biggest game of the season. All that good stuff. I agree with you, Dan. I think all the pressure is on Sheffield United. I really do. Their messiahs come back to rescue their season, and they've just they've just drafted in Patrick Bamford, who always seems to score against Wednesday. Well, in my head, he does anyway. And they've got multiple £20 million players in that squad. So I think the pressure is all on Sheffield United for the same reasons, like Danny just said. If they beat us, it's a meh. It was expected.
Isn't it?
If we beat them, obviously all the Wednesdayites are going to dine on that for, at least 4 months until February comes round. But, it is, and that's it. Anyone want to offer up their score predictions and get them in the comments? And, please, go on, guys. Go out. I know we do our predictions and they'll be out on Saturday or match day, but why not just give it a quick one now? We've just brought centre half and he may get the minutes, so we've strengthened up the defence. Charlie,
let's see what happens.
Yep.
What, my prediction?
Yeah, go on. Why not?
I can't bear to predict that we'll lose in a derby, so I'm just going to say 0-0. 2 sets of morons just not scoring. That's what it can be for me. That's fine. Just loads of terrible football. 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 0-0 as well. I think it's going to be a close, tentative, shitty affair, and no one's going to want to lose. So it's just going to be 0-0, awful game of football that I'm really angry I've driven up north for. You know what I mean? However, we've had a couple of comments, Ash, while the guys are putting their results on screen. So SciTalk actually came on tonight and said, brilliant intro on the trust meeting. I mentioned it on my pod. Gave me goosebumps, and it was a great video, wasn't it? Really enjoyed it. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm intrigued to see what comes out, because now it's like that. There's like that thing now where we're like, what's he getting right and what's he getting wrong? And he's not missed yet, and I'm kind of intrigued.
What are NDAs for?
I know, innit? What's all this shit? And then obviously Matt Davies been flogging his his All Wednesday Aren't We group. You've got to get it. Matt, I've just realised you've called your Facebook group WAWAW. That is shit to read out, right? I know why you've done it, but It's a hashtag online that we use. Trying to read it out in an audio medium like this is difficult. And then Call Me Connor YT has gone with, how do I prevent having the shits and cold sweats for the next 6 days? If you feel anything like I do, Connor, just do it, because I've had a terrible week of it. And if you are struggling and you do get bunged up the other way, can I recommend 4 pints of Magners and a couple of Jaeger bombs after the darts? Sorts you out a treat.
Well, I was in A&E Saturday morning, so with one of those symptoms. So I feel your pain, Connor, mate. I do, because I've been struggling myself. So there you are. And that's too much information on a podcast from Monday night. So there you go. Craig's just said, just noticed my younger bro is in the comments. Now, I'm sure he said his bro is a United eye.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure Craig said. I know.
Wow.
Might be Keith.
Him out.
I know his surname's not the same, but it might be Keith who's gone for a 2-0 United win. So,
Boo.
Daniel Aitken has gone for 4-1. Come on, let's be ever optimistic.
I love this.
How are we going to win 4-1? I love that.
I tell you what,
amazing.
That's over both games.
There are 2 things. Every time we put our predictions up every single week, right? There's one geezer, God bless it. I'm so sorry, I've forgotten who it is. Gives us shit for going, shut up, we're up the Shaggy Wendy's. We're going to win 3-0 every week.
That's
week.
right. That's the mentality we should be having. I'm 4-1. Change mine to 4-1.
Yeah, we get called that. And then the other one is, I think it's Ben that writes, Ugbo scores today.
It does. Yeah.
By the way,
it's Chris, and he's put 2-0 Wednesday, and then he's put I'm the youngest owl in.
Oh,
we're having a family tale. See, and that's why the derby's funny, because like you've got brothers there, and some are owls and some are blades. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Matt Talbot, we will be lucky to score 4 at home all season. And Tom, is it Greg to pronounce that? Is that right? Greg. Reckon both sides should do school sports day style tournament instead of playing a full 90 minutes. Ended in dizzy penalties. Hey, Charlie,
I'm going to need your help on this, because Sash and I went to the same school. You know, at junior school, did you ever have a day where they called it potted sports? I never understood the word potted involved in
like
that.
Potted meat.
Well, potted dog.
Because when I heard the word potted,
dog,
all I heard when I hear the word potted, all I think of is Sutherland spreads. But at Lawton Junior and Infant School, we used to have potted sports, and it always involved beanbags and hoops. Answers in the comments, ladies and gents. Let's hear from you afterwards. Yeah. Did you ever do a potted sports day?
Potted sports.
And or has it been Americanized, like the end of year disco has now been changed to prom? I'm going to prom. No, it's school disco, pal. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about where.
But it's now £1,000 dresses and a stretch limo for £500 and all that good stuff, instead of just buying 10p sweets in a plastic cup.
For what? For lines of girls and boys to stand at the opposite end of the dance room. Come on, man. Fucking ridiculous.
Right.
Pizza's cut into slices of 16. Go on, Ash, wrap it up.
I think I'll wrap that up now. Thank you very much for joining us for tonight's episode of the Wednesday Week. Like, subscribe, you'll find us on all the socials. Please do. If you like what we do, it's a pleasure to talk to you every week. We'll do it again next week. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing on Sunday, fingers crossed, legs crossed, everything crossed, because I think we need it all. Sorry. There you go. We've Lawton Junior Infantry done. My daughter goes there. Well, I hope my wife teaches there. There you go, Mrs. Rogers.
Right.
So
here we go. In the know, mate.
Shouldn't have said that.
You're gonna have now angry mums and dads going, Ash was slagging my mate off on the internet the other day. Your husband said this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't bloody hell. Yeah. I tell you what, she's got a lad in her class who's a massive United fan at all time, and he knows that obviously our families are owls, and he always has a go at her every week. Right, yeah, sorry, introduction gone. Let's go. Thank you very much as always. This is the Wednesday Week. This has been Ash hosting Dan and Charlie, and we'll see you again. Thank you very much.
Every week, live from 8 p.m. It's the Wednesday Week. Bringing you football analysis.
They said we'll win the league next season.
Bringing you modern references.
I did a little 1920s fist pump there. Not done that in a while.
If we could do just a 1-to-1, not me because it'd last 7 days apparently, like Craig David.
I should not have said that. I should not have said that.
This shows like you're mental. No, I'm not.
Clip that.
Bringing you terrible impressions.
Wibble wobble wobbly wobbly wibble wobble Cyber Jordan. When hey, you got to play a 4-4-2. She. I don't know where these jokes are coming from.
Available on all social medias.
Obviously, this goes out on YouTube and as well as all the other social media out there, podcasts, etc.
The award-winning Wednesday week. Join us.
Put on your pod